So we'll kick it off with the Bengals going to the Cleveland Browns, and I have the Browns.
Yeah. So over under is 43.5. Yeah. The Browns are favored by 6 points. And I agree the Browns are going to win this football game.
We both have the Bengals hitting the spread, though, so we think it's going to be a close game. We both have the under on the 43.5 points.
We hit this dead on. This is the first time I'm looking at your numbers, so I didn't know you were there.
I'm not going to call this a lock confidently.
No, I'm not.
This is not a lock. Yeah.
This is one of those things where I really believe this is a gimme game for either team. This is a coin flip game, I feel like. I don't know what the Browns are. We kind of already talked about that. I think we know what the Bengals are. But I mean, it's just this can go a number of different ways. I'm excited to see it. I think this will tell us
an important game.
This will tell us a lot about the Browns. But this is not a game that I'm super confident in. You make me bet on it. I'll take the Browns to win. I would probably just take the 6 points in the Bengals because I think it could go either way. I think the Bengals could win this game straight up.
Yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans. The line is set at -11 in the Titans' favor. We have over under 43 points. I'm taking the Titans, but once again, I have the Jags covering on the spread.
Yeah, I feel confident in this. I'm not going to lie to you.
We have the same. We have the same exact line.
We're right down the middle on this one. I think this does hit the over of 43 points. That I don't feel super confident in. I probably wouldn't bet the over on that. It could go under. But I do believe the Jaguars will keep it within 2 scores. I really do.
That's why I put the over is just because I think Tennessee showed in their Monday night game that they're willing to throw the ball. And Gardner can keep up.
Yeah, I really believe they can. Look, the Titans defense is a lot better than the Colts defense. And granted, it's really difficult to judge apples to apples. We should have started this at the beginning, but I think week 2 is probably the hardest game to make picks on because you're basing it off one game.
One hype.
Yeah, it's like we just don't know what's real and what isn't at this point. I have a problem saying the Titans are going to beat any team by 11 points. That's not how they play football. It's just not.
No, I mean, they're totally content with having a 10-point lead.
Yeah, so at +11, I'll call this a lock on the spread alone. The spread there, the Titans are probably going to win this game. The Jags are going to keep it within 11. I really believe that.
I would say lock on the spread. I'm not going to put it on the Titans totally covering everything.
All right, then we're gonna do that. Lock on the spread, just the spread. All right, We're saying take the Jags +11. I feel pretty confident with that.
That's fair.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Panthers at the Buccaneers. We disagree on this one. The Buccaneers are favored by 9 points with an over/under of 49 points.
We disagreed as much as you can on this.
Yeah, I want to see where you're at with this first, and then
I took the Bucs. I took the Bucs on the spread, and I took the under. I think that the Panthers defense, Tom Brady is going to absolutely pick them apart. I think the Bucs defense is better than the Raiders defense, and they are going to, as long as you can keep CMC, make Bridgewater beat you, I think that's going to be their game script, and I think they're going to get it done. They need this win.
I totally get that where you're coming from. First of all, I really disagree with you on the under. I think this is a game that's built to go over. For as far as the way the Bucs play football, where it feels like they're going to sling it down the field. Didn't feel like Tom Brady's presence changed the way they wanted to play football over the past couple of years. So I do think this hits the over. I feel pretty confident with that. 49 points is a lot. I feel pretty confident this is going to be like a 31-27 type of game. Yeah. So I think it's going to go that way. I do not see the Bucs covering 9 points. I really don't. I feel really confident in that. And I actually do think the Panthers win this game. Look, the Bucs have a better defense than the Panthers obviously do. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's a shootout. And I think the Panthers are building themselves the same way the Saints built themselves offensively. So I think the Panthers are going to try and do the same things offensively that the Saints did. Obviously, the Saints have Michael Thomas. They have weapons that maybe the Panthers don't have. But I really do believe in the weapons that the Panthers do have. And I'll sit here and say that Christian McCaffrey is better than a Kamara. I'll sit here and say that a DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson as a whole is better than Michael Thomas and the rest of the and Emmanuel Sanders, who's a lot older, and then whoever they're playing is their third receiver. I'm saying bottom to top. That's bottom to top. I do think DJ.
I like Traquan Smith.
Traquan Smith's good. You're right.
I mean,
that's
you're saying the Panthers have weapons. I get.
That's really where I'm going with that. You're right. Don't quote me on that last part. I do think they have weapons, and I think they're gonna fight and claw in this game, and I really believe the Bucs are susceptible to this type of team that's gonna want to just. I think the Panthers can outscore the Bucs. I really think that's the way this game's gonna go. I think that's what's gonna happen here. I don't feel confident in the pick of the Panthers, but I do feel confident in that neither team is gonna win by 10 points.
I get that. I'm confident in my pick. The
Fair
spread
enough.
was just going off of Tom Brady in itself. I could see the Panthers keeping it close. I don't see them playing good catch-up ball, though.
Fair enough.
I see them having to keep it close from start to finish.
Fair enough. That's a totally fair point. We'll move on. Broncos at Steelers.
It's a good defensive
This
game.
is a tough one for me. It really was. We actually agreed for the most part, but I don't feel confident in my picks at all. I don't know about you. So the Steelers are favored by 6 points, a 43-point over-under. I think that over-under is spot on. I went under, but I really don't know where that's going to go.
Yeah.
I picked the Steelers to win, and I picked the Broncos to cover, and that's a really tight window to hit. But I do think the Broncos are a good football team. I think Cortland Sutton's going to be out there next week. It seems like that's where it's going. Could be wrong on that, but we'll see. I think the Steelers are a really good football team in general, but they played the Giants actually closer than I thought they would, especially through the first 3 quarters. I think Drew Lock is going to be able to do enough to keep the Broncos in it till the very end, and that's exactly what the Broncos did last week against the Titans, or yesterday against the Titans. Granted, I think the Titans' defense is just as good as the Steelers' defense, so I don't think there's a huge discrepancy. Again, measuring it apples to apples is a very dangerous thing to do, so I apologize for doing that. But I don't feel good about this. I don't know where this goes.
No, I mean, I feel good in saying that I like Big Ben more than Drew Lock. Drew Lock looked young on Monday night. He did. He made some mistakes. He didn't make the big mistakes, and that's where you're okay with that, you know. But there were times where you wanted him to start to push the ball down or kind of work through his reads on progressions. There was one on a late drive where he had a 3rd and 15. And he looked Jerry Jeudy, through Jerry Jeudy, stayed Jerry Jeudy whenever he had a wide open middle dig route right there. So just small things, nitpicky there. I think Big Ben is able to handle that a little bit better. I think the Steelers' defense is better. So I think they just match it. But it's going to be close.
Bouye might not play in that game, which would really help the Steelers. Like this Broncos defense is really good. This Broncos defense is no joke, and I think they actually match up better against the Steelers than they did the Titans. And they played the Titans pretty well. I mean, granted, it probably gets out of hand if
they
the
did
Titans
a great job of containing King Henry. I mean, the Steelers don't have that approach at all.
Yeah, not at all. And then Benny Snell is the opposite of whatever King Henry is. I get that. This is a game I will stay very far away from gambling wise, because I could very easily see myself hitting this perfectly, and I could very easily see myself missing this completely. As far as just the way this goes, it wouldn't shock me if the Broncos won this game. It really wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's going to be. I mean, with us having the spread right there, that means that we know that it's going to be a close game down
feels
the wire.
good with the Broncos, but it also wouldn't shock me if the Steelers won by 20. So it could go either way. It really could.
We'll go on to the Rams and the Eagles, and I think this is one that we might be able to put the Between the Pylons lock on. I don't know how confident you feel about it.
Yeah.
Looking at the board, we're even all the way around. I am shocked to see that the spread is only within 1 point. I have the Rams.
So I actually want to go back. So what I did last week, and this didn't account for a lot of picks, but what I did last week is went and looked at the lines for week 2 games before the week 1 games happened, right? And I really think that's kind of an interesting thing to surmise as far as like where was Vegas before these games played, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the Rams, the Rams were actually scheduled to lose by 3.5 points, right? They had the Eagles winning by 3.5 points before week 1. Now the Rams are favored by 1 point. I absolutely agree.
So I mean, they left it up to a coin flip at that rate. And I think
they moved to the Rams because I think they realized the Rams are the better football team. I agree with Vegas, and I think that they moved 4 points, and that's a lot of points for Vegas to move right off the bat. I would get on this now, and I think I'm going to. I haven't bet on it yet, but I think I'm going to today. I want this at 1 point. I think the Rams are going to win this game. I think it could be close.
Do you want to lock it?
Yes, this is a lock in my opinion.
I was about to say a lock because of the decimated front from the Eagles' offensive line. Carson Wentz struggling. Wide receivers.
And who do they have to go up against this week?
Aaron Donald's going to kill him.
Kill him.
You're telling me you're going to be your second string, third string guard, and you have to go face Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
I'd quit.
What's Jalen Ramsey even going to do? Who's he going to guard? I mean, they don't have anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I absolutely agree. I think the Rams are going to win this handily.
I would be shocked if Philadelphia pulls this one out.
Yeah, it could happen. Carson Wentz could go off. Carson Wentz is the better quarterback. I will say that.
Carson Wentz can go off for 300 yards and some change and do some stuff.
Also, Boston Scott wasn't able to do anything, and Miles Sanders is still hurt. I'm not worried about that run game at all.
Every single aspect that I look at it is like, Rams should have that.
Rams should absolutely control this game. They should win easily by more than 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm glad we agree with that. I'm glad we got a lock there. All right, next game, the Jets host the 49ers. and I feel pretty good about this one as well.
I'm willing to lock it.
Yeah, I am too. Look, so the Jets are getting 6.5 points. The 49ers are favored by 6.5 points, I should say. The over-under is 42.5. I have the 49ers taking care of the Jets pretty handedly. I know the 49ers are down a man, but so are the Jets. We talked about how the 49ers probably lost the game against
Jets
the Cardinals.
Are down
because
a team.
They're down exactly.
Yeah, that's what they're.
I wanted to kind of circle back to why I feel like the Cardinals won. The 49ers were missing in action a lot of key wide receiver pieces. And we don't even know the health of George Kittle. I don't think it matters. George Kittle doesn't have to play. Wide receivers don't have to play. They're going to field a team, and they're going to be better than the Jets.
Defense is what's going to tell the tale of this one. Yeah.
If the Jets the Jets put up 6 points against the Bills, I would be shocked if they get more than 10 this week. I mean,
surprising that we took the over. I'll say that.
Yeah, so the reason I took the over is I think the 49ers are good for 36 points. All I need the Jets to do is score 7.
Yeah, I mean, I put the 49ers around 31, the Jets at 10.
So yeah, that's right there at the under, but still, I think I'm taking the over. The lock right here is the pick and the spread, right?
Yes.
So the over-under, that could go either way, but the lock is the pick and the spread, and we're going to lock that as well. I already got 3 locks. I feel good about that. I wasn't sure because I'm not going to lie, going into this, there were only a few games I felt confident in. Mm-hmm. If we would have disagreed on a couple of these, I don't know if we would have gotten a lock moving forward. But I'll take it over here with my Dolphins are hosting the Buffalo Bills, and we are getting 5.5 points. 42 over under. In my opinion, that is not enough. The Dolphins.
I still think that's a lock, man. I want to lock it. I do, because I think you have a really good team, offensively and defensively. And I think that you're going to get beat down this week. You think Tua makes an appearance?
No,
okay.
I don't. I think
you don't want him to.
No, I think the Dolphins are stupid if they don't stick with Fitzpatrick for the first 10 games, no matter what happens. I'm about to sneeze, so.
No, you're fine. I have the Bills. I have the Bills covering, and I have the under at 42 points because I think that the Bills are going to be content with getting around the 24-28-ish range and then just playing defensive bully ball on the Dolphins.
I absolutely agree with you. They're going to go up early exactly the way they did against the Jets. They're going to go up early and they're going to control a Dolphins offense, which I think has more weapons than the Jets do, but it's not enough. And the Dolphins are going to struggle to put up even, if the Dolphins get 2 touchdowns, 13 points anywhere in that ballpark, I'd be shocked. Bills are going to be fine at 27, 28 points, I feel like, by the end of the game. And that hits the under for the most. That hits the under. And, I mean, I agree. This is a lock all the way through. Yeah. Bills are going to win this game. They're going to win by easily more than a touchdown. Kind of surprised it's only 5.5 points. I really am.
Me too, actually. It seems like based off of this, we are Minnesota Vikings fans. We have the Vikings going to Indianapolis taking on the Colts. I hate
Colts how much we agree.
I really do. The Colts are a 3-point favorite. And we have the Vikings winning, both of us, the Vikings covering, and the over at 48 points happening as well.
Yeah, I'm not super confident with this.
No, I wouldn't lock this game at all. But I think that the Vikings are ready to come back and show up. I think it's going to be an offensive-based game. Both offenses did really well on paper. Defenses struggled. We're going to see which one comes out on top.
Yeah, I look at this game and I look at I really just look at matchups because they're both teams that need to win, right? But I do believe the Vikings are going to be able to handle the Colts offensively. I feel like they're built to handle this type of team pretty well. I mean, the Colts.
Phillip Rivers can't extend plays like Aaron Rodgers was able to.
Exactly. This is a Colts team that needs to stay on schedule, right?
Yes.
The Vikings can handle a team that needs to stay on schedule. It's when you have a player that can go off schedule and make plays.
Like Aaron Rodgers.
That's when the Vikings start to struggle.
Were scripted, unscripted, just
that's
whatever.
When you started to struggle. I don't foresee Phillip Rivers being able to do that type of thing. And the Vikings, look, I'm just going to be frank. The Colts struggled a little bit against the Jags running game. The Vikings are going to run down this Colts throat. And granted, they have a better defensive line than they did last year. But I still believe in general, the Vikings are just a bigger football team up front. I think they're going to win in the trenches and will win this game. Colts could easily win this game, though, so I'm not sitting here guaranteeing a win. I'm confident enough to pick the Vikings and the Vikings to cover 3 points. Would not lock this.
Yeah, I'm a Vikings fan. Not going to lock it. It's a homer pick. I mean, my Vikings need to show up and win this game. That's it.
Man, I'm going down the line. We agree on a lot of this, don't we?
We do.
I hate that. All right.
And we blind picked, too.
Yeah, we completely blind picked. All right. Next one up is the Lions at the Packers. Packers are favored by 6 points. This is another one where I took the Packers to win, but the Lions to cover. And this is a little bit based on history. Yeah, and I have the under at 47.5. You have the over. That's the only difference. between us. But I look at this team and I'm like, man, the Lions always play the Packers close.
Yeah, well, the Lions are a good team. They're built for these type of games. I mean,
really
offensively, Matt Stafford can keep up with any offense out there. Going away from DeAndre Swift dropping a game-winning touchdown.
We didn't talk about that. We missed that.
Bum. I knew we'd mention it right now. That's why. I think they're going to be able to stay close. The Lions, they had a game where they were up on the Bears and they allowed.
They should have won that game. They
had a good game. He came back on him.
Yeah, he had a good second half, but I'm not going to sit here and say Trubisky won that game. The Lions lost, and it's one of those things where, man, like the Lions have a good foundation. The Lions
know how to lose in the fourth quarter.
God damn, they do. They did it a lot last year, and they're doing it again this year. Again, this is just a rookie running back in his first start, dropped a game, and I'll be honest, I'm worried for the kid's career. I really believe it's one of those things where, like, if that gets in his head, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully he's mentally strong and doesn't let one drop, ruin his career. But man, we've seen it happen before. We really have.
It's a psych thing,
and it's like, man,
it off,
NFL fans are relentless. I can't imagine the type of shit he's gone through the last couple of days. But yeah, I do think the Packers win this game. I think the Lions could easily surprise us, and I think they will cover. I don't think the Packers win by a touchdown. Granted, if Aaron Rodgers does what he did last week, if the Packers come out playing the way they did last week, I will look at the Packers differently. This is a big game for me in the way I'm going to view the Packers this year. But I do believe that this is going to be an under. I do believe this is going to be somewhat of a more contained game than the Vikings Packers game last week, and I do think that the Packers win. But I think the Lions are going to be right there with them up to the wire, down to the wire.
Wouldn't surprise me if the Lions win.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. Falcons Cowboys. This is a game that I'm really excited on. And a game that we agree on. Dang it. Take the Falcons, man. We both have the Cowboys, and for me, I thought
you would. I really did.
Well, for me, I took the Cowboys on the spread too. The Cowboys are favored by 5 points. I took the under at 52 points. That's the only thing we disagree on. You have the over there, so I could see where the shootout thing comes into play there for sure, because the Falcons have no problem doing that.
This is a shootout.
I wanted to take the Falcons. I really did, because of some of the ways that they played the Seahawks, but they didn't really play the Seahawks well. They played garbage time well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this is a shootout all the way. I really do. I think first of all, I think the Cowboys are not as good as the Seahawks, in my opinion, as far as their ability to just come out firing. And that's kind of what they did against the Falcons, forced the Falcons to play into their own hand. Honestly, the Falcons want to play that type of football. I think the Falcons can actually come out and kind of score quick on the Cowboys, force the Cowboys to get into gear, force Dak to get out there and just play. And I really think that the Cowboys are going to come out in the second. I think it's actually going to be one of those games where the Falcons are leading in the first half and fall apart in the second half, and the Cowboys end up taking a commanding lead, winning by about 10 points. That's a very weird projection, but I really believe that's the way this game's going to go. Again, we agree on this, but I'm not super confident. I do take the over fairly confidently, but I think we're looking at this game two different ways, so maybe we should avoid the lock here.
That's the main thing. Avoid the lock, just because I think of the way that the tape's going to go for us in our heads. For me, I kind of see the same thing that the Cowboys did, kind of ugly, and maybe just being able to keep the Falcons from throwing all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just maybe like a 24-17 type of win.
That's funny. So we're gonna have one of those moral victories where if the Cowboys win, how did they win?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like, they got it.
You were right, but I technically got the dub as well.
Get to the game that we disagree on.
All right, this is the only other game we disagree on. Giants versus Bears. It's weird to see you pick against the Giants, because all last year
I always pick the Giants.
You lost to me. You lost to me in our picks because you kept taking the Giants when you shouldn't have. I'm taking the Giants this week. I think the Giants beat the Bears. I really do. I'm not going to bet on the Trubisky bounce back. I'm not. The one half of football from Trubisky is not enough for me to believe. I think the Giants have a really good football team. In general, if it weren't for their offensive line and their ineptitude on especially the defensive backfield, but overall, I think their core on offense is good. The offensive line is a huge hit, and that's why they're going to lose a lot of football games this year. But I don't look at the Bears as a team that's super great either. Really, what this came down to for me is the fact that, maybe the Bears have more talent top to bottom, which I've said that a lot about the Bears this year. But I think that Daniel Jones is the better quarterback, and I think that's the equalizer in this game. I will take the Giants, and I will easily take the 5 points that you're giving me with the Giants. I think the Giants are going to win this game outright. I would be shocked if the Bears win by 6 points. I would be absolutely shocked if the Bears win by 6 points.
Let me start off by saying that I as well took the Giants on the 5 points. That's just a ridiculous thing to ask the Giants or the Bears to overcome. I think Trubisky is not going to get it done. They're going to win. I look at the Bears defense as the big thing. The Bears defensive line and the fits that they gave Saquon and Daniel Jones, when you look at the Steelers and the way that game played out, I think it's going to be close.
Yeah. So we'll just let it go.
Yeah.
Your phone's ringing in the background.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
right.
what it was. Yeah.
All right. So look, I could see this. It's 43 over under. I could really see this game going 23-20, and it could go either way. So I think that's a perfect over under by Vegas.
I'm pretty sure I messed up. I meant to take the under.
Oh,
I did not want the over in this game at
Okay.
all.
So we'll change that.
Change mine to the under.
All right, no worries.
I don't see these guys getting over 43 points.
Yeah, I think so. We agree on that. So
I saw a defensive slugfest, and I saw the Bears getting the edge through Anthony Miller being able to expose some of the Giants' lesser secondary.
I definitely get that. It could go either way. I lean towards the Giants, but again, that's kind of a coin flip game.
Yeah.
Take the Giants, and I'm happy to take the points as well because I feel better about the points than I do the actual game pick.
Good.
All right, so we will move on to the Washington. I almost said Washington Cardinals. The Washingtons facing the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 6.5 points. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to say the Cardinals win this game and cover. I do think this hits the over. I think Washington's their claim to fame is going to be their defensive line this year. And when I look at the Cardinals and specifically look at Kyler Murray, I think his ability to avoid the rush and make plays despite the defensive line, despite pressure, is going to be the difference in this game. And that's why I took the Cardinals to have a commanding win over the Washingtons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reiterate what you said pretty much. If you look at the Cardinals playing the 49ers, that is an elite defensive line. Yep. Kyler was able to neutralize that through the scrambling, through his movement, and Washington has a good line. I think Kyler's going to be able to, navigate around that. I do have the Cardinals covering, but I have the under here. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be putting up a lot of points. I don't think they're going to have to because I don't look at Washington's offense and Dwayne Haskins as anything scary.
The over-under is 46.5. I really think this hits 27-20, so that's just barely the over. So I don't feel great about the over, but I do feel good about taking the Cardinals.
I don't feel safe in a lock.
No, that's fine.
I don't feel safe in a lock.
Yeah, I probably would if you did, but that's totally fine. We have 3 locks, so I'm not nervous about locks either way. Chiefs at Chargers. The Chiefs are favored by 8.5 points this week.
This is a lock.
Yeah, look, I'm taking the Chiefs until you prove it otherwise, right? Until the Chiefs show that they're gonna fall to lesser talent, Chiefs are gonna win this game commandingly. I think they win by probably 20 points. I think they do hit the over of a 47.5 over under. And the only reason they wouldn't is if the Chargers just stall out completely.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that I'm like 10% nervous on is the Chiefs at 8.5. But then again, there's no way that Tyrod Taylor is going to be able to beat this Super Bowl champ Chiefs. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tyrod had some moments where it was okay. He's going to be able to get you some ugly wins here and there. You can't get ugly wins against the Chiefs. It just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, I really do agree with you. I don't see. Yeah, this is a lock, man. We're gonna lock this up. I really believe that the Chiefs are just so much more talented. They're better than they were last year, and really, I think we're hitting this point to where like the over or the spread isn't as big as it needs to be.
Yeah,
like Vegas is giving us 8-9 points. Or 8.5 right here, but traditionally they're giving 8-9 points. I believe they gave us 9.5 against the Texans last week. It's not enough. It's just going to get bigger and bigger because
they need to make you scared to take the Chiefs.
Vegas,
and I'm not right now.
Yeah, if you're going to make it less than 10, I will take the Chiefs until they prove otherwise. I really will. When it gets to 14, 15 points, that's when I start to say fuck that. That's a tough
garbage time can catch you.
That's a tough lock to make. But here, I feel confident with that.
We'll get to an exciting game. Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans. Texans have a grueling schedule.
Yeah. And
I think it doesn't get better here. I think they're going to drop one of the Ravens. I have the Ravens. I have the Texans covering, so I think Deshaun Watson's going to be able to play a little bit of hero ball.
Okay.
That's a daunting task, too, because I think the Ravens have a better defense overall than the Chiefs. But I think they're going to come out, they're just going to play a little bit better, and maybe Lamar's not going to be dropping 40 points on them.
Yeah, I disagree with you pretty hardcore here. I'm in the same boat as I am with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Until the Ravens prove that they're not going to just demolish people, I'm on that bandwagon. Granted, it's only been 1 week, but it just feels like they're right to midseason form last year. It didn't seem like they missed a beat, and the Texans' defense is just not going to. I think the Texans' defense is even less equipped to handle a Ravens offense than they are to handle a Chiefs offense. I really do. So I look at this team is like, you're right. Deshaun Watson might play hero ball. He might keep it within a touchdown.
That's the only way they do it.
I don't think he will. I feel pretty confident that the Ravens take the over again. Our rule here is we want to both agree and feel pretty good about it before we make a lock. So that's to hopefully let the viewer win some money, because so far we won money. That's pretty much all there is to say. Like, is there any world where you see the Texans winning this game?
No.
I don't either. No. I take the over as well. I know you took the over. 52.5. It's a lot of points. But like you said, the Texans can score points. Deshaun Watson specifically can score points. I do think it'll be 36-20, 33-17 type of game that hits the over. That's kind of where I'm at with this.
34-28 with the Texans going for an onside kick and missing it late because
specific.
I'm saying 34-21 is how it looks in my head, like ugly, and then Deshaun gets that late score, kind of like he did against Kansas City.
Yeah.
Go for the onside. They don't get it, so it ends up looking a little closer than what it really was.
Fair enough.
Points are right there, though.
So we'll move on to the Patriots going to Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks are favored by 4 points in this game.
I wanted to take New England.
It's a tough one. This is a Sunday night game where I don't know where to go. Look, this is what I based it on. I said if the Seahawks play the way they played last week, I think that offense is good enough to take care of a Patriots defense. That Patriots defense is good, and they got 3 picks last year. But Russell Wilson's on another level compared to a Fitzpatrick. So I mean, I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks to cover 4 points. I just don't know. I think I could see the Patriots winning this game, obviously, but it's so hard to look at the Seahawks right now, the weapons they have, the way they can play football. They're very multiple. They can give Chris Carson the ball for 25 points, 25 times as they want to. If that's the way they want to play football, they can do that. But they can also give their running backs about 12 carries total and just absolutely demolish you through the air. And Russell Wilson will still have one of the highest completion percentage and passer rating in the league. Either way, I think they can play multiple different ways. I think they can handle the Patriots. But it's the Patriots. That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, if the Seahawks hit 35 points, I just don't see the Patriots being able to get up there. That's what I'm saying. I just don't see it, and I don't want to be a Cam hater, and I'm not. I love Cam, and it's not against Cam. It's against the weapons that surround Cam and that offensive line. They have to run this small ball read option type of thing, and I think Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded genius. Mm-hmm. He's going to be able to put his team well-equipped to defend this. Patriots are going to have to win an ugly one, and Seattle is known to sometimes play ugly games when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So there is a chance here, but I have Seattle winning.
Yeah, fair enough. I do agree with you, and you're right. If Seattle goes back to what they were doing last year, be a lot more worried about this game.
Yeah, that's true. if they're 17-17 going into the fourth, it's like, well, damn, Seattle, why are you here? But you're here.
All right, last one of the week, Saints at Raiders. Monday Night Football. I'm actually really excited.
Why'd they schedule that for Monday?
I'm actually really excited. Look, I agree with you. I get it. Looking
last year, how are you going to sit there and be like, New Orleans and Las Vegas? That's a good one.
I'm surprised it's not Ravens Texans. Like I would think.
Well, that's what I thought. That should get bumped. Yeah. I mean, I'd even argue the Patriots and Seahawks is a better game than that.
But I mean, they got Sunday night. Either way, Monday night Raiders are on the big stage on the big stage, and I think this game goes a certain way. I do believe that the Saints are going to beat the Raiders. We actually had breaking news just now. We took a little bit of break. Michael Thomas is out. We just found that out. We actually recorded a thing about Michael Thomas. We're not sure what to expect from him. We'll probably just keep that in there. But I mean, Michael Thomas is out for the next couple of weeks. That high ankle sprain is more serious than we originally thought. Does that change your pick? Do you want to change it, or you feel good about this?
No, I still have it going the same way. The Raiders might be able to put some points up here and there, but the Saints defense is elite. Drew Brees, you can't go against that. Every aspect, I think they got it.
I look at the Saints as a team that can play the type of offense or the type of game that their opponent wants to play. And I think the Raiders want to play offensive powerhouse, we're going to outscore you type of game. And
the Saints are there for that.
The Saints can do that. The Saints can also play big man. We want to slug it out and we'll win, 17-14, or we can outscore you and we'll win 35-31. Either way, I think that the Saints are going to outpace the Raiders this week. I think they're a better football team in general. At 5.5 points, I actually think it was a really good over-under. I will take the Saints. Oh, you will lock it?
I'll lock it.
I don't want to lock it.
I will lock it on the Saints beating the Raiders.
I don't want to lock it.
You see the Raiders beating me? That's fine. That's fine.
I'm gonna step back from that.
That's fine.
You're right. I see where you're coming from.
You had one where you wanted to lock, and I held back. So we'll play
I don't want to lock that one. I'm not confident. I don't know exactly what I'm getting for the Raiders. I really don't.
I didn't lock the Ravens over the Texans. It's
fair enough.
You just have sort of like a feeling where it's like there's a
not
chance,
confident. Yes. So we'll leave that one alone. I get where you're coming from though. That's a good one. But that's the last one of the week. Anything to say about the Saints Raiders? Anything else?
No, I mean, I think Saints got it.
Yeah. All right. So let's go through our locks. All right. We're going to put this out here real quick and we'll close out and we'll finish the show. Our locks of the week. We have the Jaguars covering 11 points against the Titans. Feel very good about that. Granted, we do have the Titans winning. The Titans are not going to beat many teams by 14 points. Granted, the Jaguars are not supposed to be good, but they battled it out against the Colts. I have no reason to believe the Jaguars will lose by more than 10 points here. So we're locking that. We are locking the Rams to beat the Eagles. They get 1 point in this game, which is weird.
The
Rams.
It's a coin flip, and this is not a coin flip game.
Yeah. It's a minus. They're -1, but still, either way, the Rams should easily be it should be -3, -4 type of game. I think this line is just off, and I will take the Rams, and I'll take the money there. That is a lock for us. We have the 49ers handedly beating the Jets. 49ers -6.5. That is a lock. And then our last, we have two more. Wow, we actually have a lot of locks this week. We have 5 locks of the week. Yeah. We have the Bills covering the Dolphins by 5.5 points. They're going to win by more than a touchdown. We're pretty confident about that. And our last lock of the week is the Chiefs -8.5. Chiefs are going to cover any team by 10 or more points. And I will believe it until you prove me otherwise.